Hello, and welcome to this Fallout 4 settlement tour. This is XtremeWackazoid, and today we are looking at the Kingsport Lighthouse. This is a PS4 version, and my mod list order is listed below. So with this settlement, obviously there's a lighthouse, and what I wanted to do was to build a structure that builds into the lighthouse and looks like it would actually function. And then I'll show you what the rest of the settlement looks like as well. And so I really wanted to play around with doing circular floors and and doing supports to those circular floors. So this settlement provides a great opportunity to do that. So I'll take you up this bit of the lighthouse first, and what I have here is I have a bunch of stores, and then there's chairs with benches, so that there provides a great view out onto the water. My first store here is the restaurant, and what I like to do with vendors is use these tier 4 vendors because I actually use them to buy stuff and sell stuff, and I also like to put things into the shelves so that it actually looks like they're selling something. And so with that, I manually place objects there. I use OCDecorator for basically every place sells, and so I wanted the workstation here to actually be in use. So I'll take you around so that you can see what these circular floors look like. These are barn door posts that go into the floors, and then I use these diagonal supports that are from the ball track support, so it looks like it's actually being supported by the lighthouse. I use these raised turrets on ball support tracks as well, so that way melee attackers can't hit them, so it protects them a little bit. And then these are warehouse railings so that people can't fall off. And what I like to do with steps is I like to put a light that goes up the steps so that you can actually see where you're going. And since this isn't a large area, the vendors, I kind of really tuck away their items so it actually looks like a functioning restaurant. And this is a diagonal fence that I love to use on stairways. This is from Unlocked Settlement Objects, and so that way I can't fall off and my settlers don't fall off either. And so up to the second floor is a general store. It's the junk vendor, and there again I place objects in the shelves themselves. All of my settlers have clothing that has the a ballistic weave clothing, and they're all wearing the same outfits. I like them to look like they're in some kind of cult or something. They all wear the same outfit. That's a surveyor's outfit. And here the junk vendor is some items, and what I do with the OCDecorator is I use a select all trick with a concrete pillar to raise and lower the shelving so I can place the objects straight onto them. Like that. And here again there's benches and bar stools. I'd like to put lighting upstairs and use these diagonal fences so that you don't fall off. Up here, the third floor is the clinic, and what I like to do with my clinic vendors is to give them a labs coat so it looks like they're actual doctor. And here at the clinic I have a gurney and a light and oxygen tank and supplies like that. Again, it's these diagonal supports that go into the walls. And I wire everything so it's flush against those walls as well. Up here on the fourth floor is my clothing vendor. And what I like is to do these armor stands and actually place clothing on the armor stands so that way it looks like, you know, an actual clothing store. And here is like a coat rack And then this is a guard station, and so the guard is actually going between two different guard posts. And I like to place a guard post facing out because it seems like this direction is where most attackers come from. And so what I wanted to do is have this circular floor structure actually go into the lighthouse itself, and so I'll show you these are scaffolding steps and railings that go onto this top section of the lighthouse, and then of course you can actually go into lighthouse from here. So I wanted to have two exits that you can get into the structure either way, and actually put some beds and foot lockers here so some of my settlers actually sleep inside this lighthouse. One thing I like to do, because if I lived in a wasteland like this, I would have a go bag with my supplies in case I needed to leave quickly, and so I put little suitcases and duffel bags underneath the beds, so I think that's a little more realistic. And here inside is just where a bunch of my settlers live. Again, I put suitcases underneath the beds and foot lockers and things like that. This top section of this house is just really hard to build anything into. One of the things I do with my settlements, the first thing I do is I figure out where I'm going to put my power source, and so up here at the top is where my power source is for this settlement, and I always put some kind of barricade around it because attackers will definitely go after the power source. Pretty much every settlement I have mute fruit because it's one food per plant, and so it's just kind of the most efficient efficient food to grow, and it's a pretty good resale value. I have just a few water purifiers here. You can fit a lot of water purifiers out here if you wanted to, but I like it to be a little more realistic. And then out here is kind of my latrine area. I figured it made sense to like a latrine area actually above water, so it's kind of a natural sewage system. And so there's a shower and a bathroom there. And so that's pretty much all that I did here with Kingsport Lighthouse. Like I say, I like to do these ball track supports with little wooden squares for my turrets. Those are minigun turrets. And again, thank you for viewing this video. If you like it, hit the like, and if you favorite my channel, that'd be cool as well. So thanks again.